Welcome everybody, my name is Yvette Martel, and this is Art 301, lecture number 2 for Foundations of Art. This is our second module, the Aesthetics of Art. So what is aesthetics? Aesthetics is a branch of philosophy that deals with the nature of art, beauty, and taste. It's a word that comes from the Greek, meaning perceptible to the senses. This week we'll challenge our assumptions about beauty by asking fundamental questions. What makes something beautiful? Does art have to be beautiful in order to be valuable? And what's the difference between just simply liking something and judging it as good art? So remember, as we do these lectures, it's really important that you've done the readings, you've watched the videos, you've pre-looked at the slideshow or the presentation to get you to the lecture. And that way you'll have a lot more understanding about everything that's going to be said. So with the great debate, why do we find things beautiful? So in our videos that we watched, the first argument by Dennis Dutton was that it was a biological view. And he argues that our sense of beauty is rooted in evolution, that we are instinctively drawn to things that signal health, safety, and good environment, like symmetrical faces, clear landscapes, signs of skill, people who are robustly strong. So in our second argument, we have a philosophical view. And Roger Scruton argues that beauty is a deep philosophical human need that has been much lost in contemporary art. And he believes that beauty is not just a biological instinct, but a value we seek to find meaning, order, and consolidation in the world. So art through an aesthetics lens. In your reading that you read this week, Aesthetics Theories and Questions, the PDF outlined 5 different theories that help us analyze art. These theories provide different criteria for what makes artwork successful. In the first one, imitationalism, excuse me, it's a hard word for me, imitationalism. Art is good if it accurately imitates reality. Then we have expressionism. Expressionism is art is good if it effectively communicates the artist's emotions and feelings. Then we have formalism. Art is good if the visual elements and principles of design are well organized and compelling. Instrumentalism, art is good if it serves a social, political, or moral purpose. Institutionalism, art is defined as art if the art world calls it art. So imitationalism, we have an example of Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. So when in this entire course, when we're looking at art, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to pause things, take a second, start with just like 10 to 20 seconds and actually look at the artwork in itself. Okay, look at it in its entirety and then try to break it up in like little pieces with a little bit more focus. Asking yourself, what is it that I'm seeing? Because there's a lot of times there's like a lot of depth in imagery. So with that, you can see that Leonardo da Vinci is really trying to emulate the face of this woman. The next one, expressionism. So in The Scream, whoa, 1893, right? You can feel that feeling. The way he uses the swirls and his colors is just fantastic. Formalism, notice all the formal lines. So it's composition, the red, the blues, the yellows, just how geometrical everything is. Then we have instrumentalism by Pablo Picasso. Again, take a second and look at everything that's going on in this piece. Just incredible. Institutionalism, where Marcel Duchamp took a literal urinal, popped it off, put it on a pedestal, put it upside down, signed it, and then radically changed the world by asking critical questions of why is this not art? So let's look at modernism in art. So modernism is a pivotal movement in art, roughly around 1860s to 1970s, that we explore through an aesthetics lens. So its key belief in modernism that it's defined by its belief in progress and the search for universal truths. Artists experimented with these new ways of seeing and representing the world, often by moving away from representational art. And a key modernist aesthetic is formalism that we'll look into the next module, where In formalism, where the pure visual qualities of art is in regards to its line, shape, colors, those were considered the most important in this aspect. So an example of modernism would be this incredible piece by Pablo Picasso. So instead of the perfect picture of a person, Pablo Picasso breaks down and rearranges the form and shape to explore universal ideas and perceptions of reality. So in our wrap up, this week we began a journey into our philosophy of art by asking the question, what is beauty? And we learned that this is a complex question with both biological and philosophical answers. We started to use different aesthetics theories to evaluate art, and we saw how an art movement like modernism was shaped by its own aesthetic values. So in looking ahead, next week we'll transition to Module 3 on formalism and the elements and principles of art. Thanks, everybody.